It is the top of the hour. I am Donna Charlevoix. I am at the Globe Program Office, headquartered in Boulder. It is morning here and a beautiful sunny morning. Feels a little bit like spring. I really appreciate all of you taking the time to join us today. This is our quarterly update of the Student Climate Research Campaign. For those of you who have not participated in one of the Globe webinars, the tips that you see on the screen should help you if you have any trouble. There is a Q&A box where you can type in your questions. We are moderating those, and we're happy to answer any questions that you have, and if we can't answer them, we will find the answer and get back to you. If you are having trouble during the webinar, please go ahead and send an email to climatecampaign@globe.gov, and the moderators that we have will assist you with getting back online. I would like to acknowledge all the help of the science and education team in putting this webinar together, and really for helping to coordinate the Student Climate Research Campaign. We have 5 staff here in the Globe Program Office focused on the science and education, and specifically the climate campaign. Sarah Tessendorf, who has joined us, will be leading the webinar this evening. So if you have colleagues that were unable to make this morning's webinar, this morning for Boulder time, she will be conducting the same webinar, a repeat, later today. Our other 2 staff scientists, Julie Malmberg, collected a lot of the data that you'll see here, and Jessica Macaro also assisted as well. We have Randall Thomas, our educational technologist, who's helping to run the webinar, and Gary Randolph, who really is assisting with a lot of the data collection and coordination of the campaign. So kudos to all of them, and especially to all of you for taking the time to join us. And I love to see that we have so many participants from all over the world. It's fabulous. Today we're going to do a very brief update, just like we've done in the past. I will keep this to about 15 minutes or so you will have time to answer questions and then get on with everything else that you have to do. Today we'll talk a little bit about countries who are participating in the campaign, highlight a couple of schools and projects, and then tell you about some of the upcoming things that we have, including the video competition, the blog, how to get involved, and so on. So the first thing that I really want to do is just thank the entire Globe community for participating in the climate campaign, and specifically in the collection of data. We have seen an upsurge or an increase in the amount of data entered into the Globe Science database since the campaign started in September. And we are working to provide more information in terms of metrics and reporting that we can share with all of you so that you can see what a great job all of you and all of your schools are doing, and all the students especially. We have 35 countries who have been very active in participating in the campaign. Primarily, the way that we're able to identify participants is through data entry. And so if you're entering data related to temperature, precipitation, land cover, those automatically indicate to us that you're focused on climate or participating in one of our IOPs. Additionally, if you're sharing information with us through our Facebook site, which is the Globe Science Network, we're keeping track of that as well. And so we would really encourage you to find the Globe program on Facebook and also share with us what it is that you're doing. And the last way that we've been able to identify those people who are participating and working on projects is through direct email with us. And if you or your schools or your teachers are doing a project, even if it's relatively small scale, so it's not a full-blown research project, let us know so that we can highlight you and share all the great work that you're doing. So congratulations to all of the schools. We have participants from all 6 regions. For those of you in the United States, we don't have this broken out by state, but one of our goals is that in the May summary and report, we will have more detailed metrics that identify the various states within the US who are participating. I want to take a moment just to congratulate a set of schools. These are 6 schools participating in the campaign who have really done an outstanding job in data collection and sharing with us what it is that they're doing. And in particular, their participation in our IOPs, where we have focused time periods when there's data collection focused both on general climate and also land cover. These 6 schools have really been outstanding. If you are a partner or a country coordinator, or if you're working at one of the regional help desks and you are aware of a school that is really going above and beyond or just doing a really fabulous job, please let us know so that we can highlight them in our next webinar. One project that I wanted to share with everyone, just to give you an idea of one of the projects that's being done under the campaign, is a collaboration between 2 schools in the United States, in Alaska and in Puerto Rico. And these 2 teachers have been working with the Globe Program Office to identify a common research question, and then looking at data through data collection with Globe protocols to try and answer that research question, and then the schools are comparing their data against each other. And you'll notice that the school that's led by Cheryl Williams, they're in Palmer High School in Palmer, Alaska, is working with Richard Rodinger at Ramy School in Puerto Rico. And the students have been so excited to work together on this project because of the very different climates that they come from. So they are in particular looking at climate drivers of green up and green down. And you can see the photo there of the students out doing the protocol. So again, this is just one example, and we know that there are many, many more out there, and we really want to promote the work that you all are doing. And so pass that along to us, and we would love to share it with the rest of the Globe community. One of the IOPs that we have had going on, an IOP, you will recall, is an intensive observing period. So it typically runs for 1 month, 1 calendar month, when we ask schools to really focus on a particular set of Globe protocols to collect that data so we can use that data to improve the climate record that we have in our science database. And the school that we really would like to acknowledge for their consistent participation is the Trabuch School in Czech Republic. And you'll notice here, they entered land cover photographs of the same site in October 2010 and again in October 2011 during our IOP. And you can see from these photographs how the land cover looks very different even at the same time of year from one year to the next. And this is something that really sparks the thought process in a lot of students. And it's a great way for students to pick up projects of maybe the class from the year before if you have the same teacher. One potential research project associated with this would be to analyze the temperature and precipitation data for each year to reveal why the landscape is more lush and green in 2011 than it was in 2010. And so thank you very much for the submission of these photographs. And I will be reminding you of when we have our next IOPs for climate and land cover, and we hope to see even more participation coming up. In October and January were the most recent climate and land cover IOPs, and we had a significant number of entries of data. We had, in October, we had 43 land cover sites documented, with 23 schools participating, primarily from the Czech Republic, Croatia, Peru, and the United States. In January, just last month, we had 26 sites documented from 15 different schools, again, primarily from Croatia, Czech Republic, Peru, and several locations in the United States. And so as you and your teachers are working with students to document land cover, please make sure to upload those photographs. Our staff scientists are doing a great job at assisting people that have questions, so don't hesitate to ask. So one of the poll questions that you see up top is, have you told your Globe teachers about the video competition? And hopefully after this webinar, all of you will go back and spread the word. We want to know what you are doing for the campaign, and we want to highlight students for our Earth Day birthday celebration in April. So we have information online about how to go about doing this. The URL is at the bottom there. We want to highlight Globe student research in climate science. What we're asking for is for students to create a very short video, 2 minutes or less, demonstrating how they are using Globe protocols or Globe concepts and learning activities to investigate climate. Send us that a link to the video and a transcript, so we will need you to write out the words, by March 15th, so that we can look through all of those and select our winners. And our winners will be highlighted on the Globe website for Earth Day. That is our kind of grand prize. And the top 3 videos from each region will receive an award, either a trophy, a plaque, and a Globe flag. So we really hope to see some submissions coming in. We know that some of you are actively working on this with your teachers, and we really look forward to seeing the videos. If you have any questions at all, send an email to climatecampaign@globe.gov, and we will get back to you very quickly with some information and to help you troubleshoot. The last thing that I wanted to mention was really just a reminder of how to get involved in the climate campaign. And we've spoken with many of you out in the community, and we're hearing that the climate campaign and the focus of climate is really just doing Globe, collecting data, doing a research project, exploring the environment with a critical eye towards science. So we really need students to continue to participate in the intensive observing periods. We have a learning activity where they can determine what their climate classification is and upload it into Google Earth. We really would love to see all the student videos or photographs that are taken, and you can submit those directly to climatecampaign@globe.gov. Teachers, you are the key to getting students involved in Globe. And so we hope to hear from you and all the things that you're doing. If you are collaborating with someone else, or you have a research project that you want to share, or even just student artifacts that you want to share, if you pass those along, we'll make sure that they get shared with the entire community. And finally, I just wanted to mention that we are in the preliminary stages of setting up the foundation for the Globe International Scientist Network. We've been talking with a lot of scientists from both the United States and around the world, and we are developing out a framework for that network that will be shared with our Science Advisory Committee. And so if you are a scientist or you know scientists who want to get involved with Globe, please send us an email at science@globe.gov so that we can follow up. We're very excited to have identified dozens and dozens of scientists from around the world, and we are hoping to be able to share that information and how you can connect with them very shortly. So on the horizon, these are things to make note of. We have that video competition out there right now. We're looking for your submissions. Please send those in. If you have questions, let us know. And we have a couple of intensive observing periods coming up, starting on March 1, which is Thursday of this week. So in 3 short days, we will be focused on temperature and precip data collection with the Great Global Investigation of Climate. A great question came in from a U.S. partner earlier this week asking how much data needs to be submitted in a particular month for the Great Global Investigation of Climate. Ideally, we'd want data every day, but of course that's a challenge. And as a kind of second response, we want as much data as the students can collect and enter. Typically, from a scientific perspective, if we want to use that data to calculate a monthly average, we want at least 70% of the days of the month collected. So somewhere around 20 to 25 data points for a month would be absolutely fabulous, but any data that can be entered would be great. Then in April and July, we will do a repeat of our climate and land cover. And we're now into our second and third, actually, iteration of the climate and land cover. So it will be very exciting to see schools who've submitted in previous years and how the land cover is different this year compared with previous years. And the last item that I wanted to share with you all, we haven't defined a date yet, but we are planning to do a chat with a scientist in April. And this would be an opportunity for students potentially to log on and chat with one of our GLOBE staff scientists. Of course, for any of you from an administration perspective, from a partnership or country coordinator, you're also invited as well. And if you have any requests for a focus for this chat with the scientist, please forward them on to us through climatecampaign@globe.gov, and we would love to have a really strong focus that meets your needs. So with that, I will close, and so we are at about 17 minutes past the hour. I want to thank everyone for their participation in GLOBE and for their dedication to collect data and participate in the climate campaign. We're going along fabulously. We will be doing another update in May, our quarterly update, as well as providing updates through our monthly, or actually by month, twice a month now, news briefs that come out on the 1st and the 15th. So the more that you share with us, the more that we will share that information with the community. I will stay on the line for a couple of minutes along with the other GLOBE Program Office staff to answer any questions that you might have. You're welcome to type those in.